Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of We Apologise for What You're About to Hear. It is a conversational podcast. There will be some adult language. It's just silly. It's just a jokey little time. Two best mates talking absolute nonsense.
Rubbish.
Wow, sell it. My name is Dani.
I'm Adele.
And welcome. Wow.
Hi.
I just want to say it first because I feel like I need to say this podcast has taken just so much effort to try and put together because it just felt like every hurdle, every time,
Everything
that could go wrong has gone wrong. We were like, yeah, we're going to start it before Christmas. We're going to get 2 episodes in before the end of the year.
I mean, we started talking about this podcast, I think, in July.
Yeah.
Maybe even earlier than that. We've sort of joked about it for about a year.
Yeah.
And then, at the beginning of COVID, we joked about this when we started actually Skyping and finding ourselves really funny. So true.
Narcissism.
And then, I think around July, after both our birthdays, we thought, yeah, let's do this. So it's taken 5 whole months.
But to be fair, we wanted to get the microphone sorted, and then Mr. Amazon went, girl, we're not selling anymore. And I was like, oh my God. And then
But we got there.
And then we
got the mics.
and we wanted to do it, and I got COVID, and it was just
yeah.
wow.
And then also the whole extra COVID restrictions meaning we can't use your studio, which is beautifully set up now, but only you can record there. So, yeah.
Only me, honey. You're not allowed.
I'm not.
So what we want to do in this podcast is we just want to kind of have a fun chat, talk about stuff. And one of the first things we'll talk about is what is floating your boat. So what is floating my boat this week is basically just stuff that you like. You float my boat. You float my boat. You're ruining my train. Stop ruining my train. The thing that I'm really enjoying this week is I've found this eye cream. I should really bring it up because I forget the name. What a good segment we've made up.
Where did you even find this eye cream, Danielle? Was it the CeraVe one you found in Boots?
It might have been. It might have actually been.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I've heard loads of people speak about it because it's got niacinamide in it, which basically takes out dark patches in your skin, should I say. And I got some real bags going on under my eyes, always have done. Since I was a child, I've looked haggard, which is quite impressive.
I mean, yeah, but you can't help the genetics, can you? So
you can't help what your mother gave you. So it's this eye cream. I think it's called eye repair cream. I'm selling it, aren't I? I'm really selling it.
You are. I mean, it's helpful that you know exactly what it's called and what brand it is.
It's CeraVe. I know it's CeraVe. I know that.
Okay, so it's the CeraVe. It's the CeraVe stuff with the blue thing on.
Oh God, we've narrowed it down. If you Google
CeraVe,
I know, it's just everything's blue.
No, that's not true. There's some stuff with green
and purple. They do the retinol in purple.
Oh,
but I don't think you can get the retinol in England. I don't think I've seen that.
I mean, skincare is one of those things where you look at other countries and you are just drooling over everything they can get that you can't.
I think we should.
And then you go over there.
I think we should go to I want to say Korea, but
no, I don't want to go to Korea because of the snails, the tortured snails.
Not the people, not the tortured people. No, it's the snails. They don't like that they torture the snails.
And dogs, they really do torture dogs, horses, and snails. Snails for the skincare specifically. Dogs and horses are for fun. But the snails, bless them. You can get that snail serum. Well, apparently to get that, they need to make the snails whatever snails do. They don't crawl. They slither, I guess, over electric
what
shit.
Do snails do? What you mean? Dogs walk, snails slither.
Snakes slither. What does a snail do?
What does a snail?
Sucks its way around. It just sucks its way.
It just sucks its way down. Yeah, what would you call that?
What do
snails
know, but
do?
whatever snails do, what that thing is that the way they move and the way they leave their little trail. It's so dirty. It's just so wrong. People, yeah. But anyway, so how they get that is they make them do that over electrical things, and they basically give them the little electric shocks constantly to get the snail serum. Yeah, so I'm totally against that.
Well, when I went to Bulgaria like a couple of years ago, and we went to like a snail farm, and it was one of the weirdest experiences of my life because I didn't know I was going there, and then you're in this like group of tourists, and about 5 of us spoke English because I don't know if you've been to Bulgaria, but it's more of like a European holiday destination. There's loads of German people, there's loads of French people, there's loads of like Europeans basically. So there's not a lot of English people about. And when we went, and you go in, and like you're in this crazy like big house that's got like this farm that just stinks of like wet mud is how I would describe it, just wet mud. Yeah. And they go, you literally walk in and they're like, snail pate. I'm like, what? Because obviously you look at me and you go, English. There's no denial
very
of my
white,
origins.
Very pale and blonde. Yep.
And they're like, eat it. And I'm like, I do not want to eat this because I wasn't mentally prepared for the fact that I was going to eat snails. I was told I was going a pottery thing, a medieval village, and then like to the beach on a boat. That's what I was informed of. And the snail thing was not mentioned. So we arrived there and they're like trying to get us pate, and I tasted it and I'm like, because I you know, like English thing of not being able to say no. You're like, okay. But the pate was like, it just tasted bland, but like you knew what it was. I think it was more psycho. If someone just handed it me and went, try it, I go, oh, it's not too bad. But because I knew what it was, I was going, oh, no. And then my brain starts thinking, and I'm like, I'm not going to throw up. I'm not going to throw up in front of all these German people. I wouldn't do that. That's not okay, hon. And then we go around the other side, and we're walking around, and then there's like a guy, and we go in this like crazy little, where they like grow. Breed was the word I was aiming for. Where they grow snails.
You just sprinkle a little water.
You get some fairies in, and then they like sprinkle all this water in, and then you get snails. That's how animals work, of course. Anywho, yeah, so we go and there's just like there's pots, and there's like these old women just like shoving snail babies or eggs, whatever they do, into pots and like moving it along. And then this guy gives this speech in Bulgarian. I presume that's the language.
Yeah,
I don't know the language. And we're all sitting there nodding, and then the translator does it because again there's loads of different languages. So she does it in German, we nod. She does it in French, we nod. She does it in Spanish, we nod. And then they walk out, and I'm like, okay.
Well, you were nodding. So you gave her the impression you understood all 3 other languages.
So I was like, I don't know anything that's happening. And I'm just in this strange place where people keep trying to feed me snails. And then we sat at this table with like these like it was another English family actually, so we sort of sat with them like, oh, at least I can understand what you're saying to me. Because it's awkward when you don't speak a language and they don't try to speak yours, and you kind of like I use my GCSE constantly. German, and they just look at me thinking like, God, this bitch, like move out of my way. Because they could probably speak English, because it's kind of like a thing that most everybody does, and I'm like, I don't get why we get that. Why?
Well, I think we're just really arrogant as a nation in terms of none of us actually bother learning a language properly, and yet every other country learns English. Even if they don't learn it at school, they learn English and can have a conversation with us.
Well, this guy at work, Vincent, I've told you about him, and like
you have.
Was he said to me, because he's where's he from? I think he's from Italy, and he was like, oh, what languages do you know? And I'm like, English. And he's like, haha, funny joke, Danielle, what languages do you know? I'm like, English. And he's just looking at me, and he's like, oh, and I'm like, no, this is just like a cultural thing. Like our language departments aren't very like funded, and it's just not a good time. Well, anyway,
I think, like I say, it's not even just our language departments. We've grown up. I think it's sorry, I've just seen snow falling from someone's roof. That's really distracted me. But I think it's more of a cultural thing in terms of as you know, from the late 19th century into the 20th, we were part of the British Empire. And therefore, lots of different countries had to learn to speak English because we had so many English-speaking countries that we ruled. And from then it's gone English as a language of business. And we haven't progressed on from that, even though other countries have progressed on to teaching Chinese and teaching Spanish, because Spanish is, I think, the most spoken language across the planet. So yeah, we just haven't moved on from our colony days.
Yeah, and so then we were at the table and they like gave us plates of snails and like I'm thinking, no thank you, no thank you. A couple of people ate it, a couple didn't, and then after they're like, come to the gift shop, come to the gift shop. So we go to the gift shop and the gift shop is beauty products with all snails in it, and I'm thinking, no, I'm okay. I've kind of been traumatized enough. I'm okay. It's meant to be an amazing ingredient, but I'm just like, I've just seen all these snails, and now I'm good. So that's why I bought that eye cream.
Okay, well, wow. That was
a tangent.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Did we actually get round to why the eye cream?
Oh, I don't think we did.
I
just went a million miles. You'll learn this if you listen to more than one episode. I will just go down on a tangent and just send us like half a mile down the road. I mean,
it's a fun tangent.
It's a fun little tangent. It just has reduced my dark circles quite nicely, and I don't have to wear concealer under my eyes anymore.
Which is amazing, because if you're like me and you've got wrinkly under eyes, concealer sinks in and shows up all them wrinkles.
It's thick, but it's like, once you work it a little bit, nice. You know? No.
Missy Elliott's nose stuck in my head.
Let me work it. I want to work it. Okay.
That cackle that attracts so many men. Sorry.
Or so little men. No men.
No man, none.
Right,
just me and my cackle.
Me?
Yeah, me and my.
Can't even get a cat. It's just a cackle.
It probably is a witch's cackle. I do apologise that I cackle so much. In fact, I don't. I don't care. Stop listening if you don't like
Turn it off if you don't like it. We have 0 viewers constantly because we keep telling people to stop listening to us.
Sorry, it's my laugh. I can't help it. I cackle. I'm born a witch, okay?
Born witch.
Born on the summer solstice. Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho.
So I really don't have anything that's been floating my boat at all this week, because I have been trapped at home for...
Christmas?
Yeah.
Time with family?
Yeah.
Socialisation? I've hated it.
No, but the thing is, that's it. This year there has been no socialisation. Where is it? We can't because of COVID. So I've literally been stuck at home. I mean, admittedly, I've had the dog and the cats, and it's been really nice to spend that time. But my dog's not eating, so
what's wrong with it?
That's fun. She just won't eat. She's funny that way, and she's seen that there's like fresh turkey, or there's the turkey that she can eat, and it's like,
I think though you've
bitch.
kind of made a rod for your own back with that dog.
Yeah,
because you spoil her, so she's like a proper little princess.
Yeah, let's just specify that this is a rescue dog that I've had for 18 months. She's a Saint Bernard and 6 years old. So before she came to me, I have no clue about what she ate. I just know she was used for breeding. And now that she's been with me for 18 months, she is a Saint Bernard that won't go out in the snow. She wears a jumper when it gets too cold. And basically, she's the most spoilt dog ever. Yeah. Really.
I've seen you go, I've got to go feed my dog. And I'm like, okay. And then like you're holding the bowl while she eats out of it. And
she won't eat the bowl out of, like, she won't eat the bowl from the floor, and she won't eat it from,
you've made a monster is what you've done.
I haven't done this. I've had help from my mum with this, because my mum helps me with the dog, like, because I work full time and things. So my mum used to hand feed her. Like, literally,
so your mom's made the
food
monster.
in her hand. Yeah. So my mum has made the monster. I have just not really been able to reverse the process properly. It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare, and you have to kind of coax it into eating. It's really bizarre. So I've been at home with the dog, the cats. My cats have been going crazy because I got them catnip for Christmas, and instead of being like super chilled out like most cats on catnip, they turned into psychopaths.
Wow.
And started.
I don't
like,
think I've ever
trying.
seen a cat on catnip.
I might record mine for you next time, but if I can get my hands close enough without them tearing them apart, because they're normally like pretty gentle, chilled out cats. Like they run around, they're naughty, but they're not like vicious. Catnip turns them into absolute psychopaths, where you can't like put your hand anywhere near them. It'll just get like shredded.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's been pretty much my week, apart from eating too much chocolate.
Yeah, but what's floating your boat though, Adele?
Gross.
This is like what we came for.
Like, I know, and I can't think of a single thing since being. I mean,
it's
this
episode
being with
1,
you, Dani.
And you can't think of anything good now. It's episode 1.
It is episode 1, and like I genuinely normally have like a lot of stuff that I love because I'm out in the world at work, and I'm like
I'm out in the
world. I'm out in the world. Yeah, I'm catching buses to commute, so I see a lot of dark stuff.
I see the world, man.
But yeah,
I see everything on those buses.
You would. So you see a lot of dark stuff on them. But yeah, so I guess the snow is probably the only thing, and that's only because it's like made everything look a little bit nicer and a bit cleaner. And again, you know, we all need a bit of that, really, a bit brightening up. But yeah, so literally this week I have absolutely bugger all that's been floating my boat. I have overdone it on the Christmas in terms of I've been watching Christmas films for 6 months now. Christmas
I don't think I've seen one this year.
You don't watch Christmas films, so that's the thing.
I don't watch a lot of films. I don't watch any films, to be fair.
No.
I'm not a film person. I like a TV show. Like, I love a good TV show. But, like, with
you
films,
are more of like, you like to binge, don't you? You like to binge on things like The Crown.
I like that feeling when you're watching something and then you kind of forget you exist. You've been on it so long. Like, it's been 4 hours and you're going,
I don't need a film for that. I don't need a film or a TV show. I just literally forget I exist sometimes.
you just like in the living room, you go,
Or sometimes, you know, when you forget to breathe, like you're concentrating so hard.
Nope.
Okay.
I do not ever forget to breathe.
Like sometimes I'll be concentrating on something and I'll be concentrating quite hard. And then all of a sudden I'll go, oh shit, need to breathe. And it's like, gasp for air. And like,
oh shit, I gotta breathe. I don't know what you mean. I've never experienced forgetting to breathe.
It's
never
been
a thing.
Often to me, if I'm like cleaning or tidying or something, I'm really hyper focused on what I'm doing. I will actually forget to breathe, and then like all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I need some air. Yeah, no, okay, just me. I'm sure there's more than me out there, but it's a concerted effort to breathe. That. Like that. Just take
natural. I just let my body just goes with it. It's just like breathe.
No.
Breathe.
Well, I all I can say is for me, breathing takes
a challenge. Oh god, it's such a mare to breathe.
Is, and I will tell you this, Dani and I we met doing our drama degree at university. And one of my notes that I always got back from one of our drama lecturers was breathe. So it isn't just me like thinking this.
What do you mean? Oh my gosh.
A certain, shall we say, blonde director, when he gave me my notes back from first year through, my notes were always breathe. Because I would
act
forget.
better, do better. He's just concerned. Like, he wasn't giving you notes. He was just like really, really concerned. He's like, "Oh my god, Adele, breathe. It's okay.
You're gonna die.
It's not illegal to do it. You can do it."
Yeah. So that was basically 3 years of drama to get told breathe.
To be taught how to breathe, and sometimes you still forget.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know, I took a lot away from that in terms of learning how to breathe. So 10 grand a year, not wasted.
It's not wasted.
No.
I see, like, my mum looked at me in disappointment when I said drama degree, but mother, I learned how to breathe. So it was not wasted.
Yeah, not wasted.
I could have been a doctor.
Oh,
I could have been I could have been an engineer.
Yeah.
I could have been anything.
My
but I
family
chose to
wanted
learn
me
breathe.
to go down a medical route or something else, but no, I chose drama. I learned how to breathe.
Was it
Thanks.
wasted? I don't think so. Look who's still alive. So
Exactly.
it was wasted time, not me.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, 30 grand to breathe, hon. I'm doing well.
We've done real well.
We have. I also learned from doing that degree from a different director that I have a very deep voice for a woman and sound like a man. So, you know, 30 grand well spent.
We shouldn't have clarified like names at the beginning. Maybe they'd have been like, who's this lady and this man that's just rumbling on in here going rah 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 rah. And I can say this, people that are listening, because I have seen her waveforms. I can tell you it's like Rumble in the Jungle. Like it's so aggressively
male. It's masculine. It's a full blown.
It's so masculine.
Yeah.
Like I thought, like because I've been told before, I've got a deep voice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've got a deep voice. I've been told this, but literally, as I've met you, I'm like, wow, I sound really feminine.
I think that's probably why we bonded so quickly at uni, is because we both sound like men.
Wait, you sound like a man? I sound like a man. Just saw each other over like the drama studio. We could be men, clicking towards each other. And then dance routine. I wish that we had like filmed this visually, because I just did a little dance.
It was a good dance. I think it was very. You might have been accused of stealing it from West Side Story. I'm just going to put that out there. You know, it might have been plagiaristic.
Accuse all you want, you can't prove nothing.
No, not now. But if we'd have recorded it, then you could have done. So, I mean, it's probably.
They don't own clicking. West Side Story does not own clicking. I'm going to put that out there. You can't have that West Side Story. Get out.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they don't own it, but with that exact movement within that certain rhythm, I think is.
We've got no viewers, but we're still gonna get like copyright claimed just for me going.
Just shut down. Looking like the Sharks and the Jets, both at the same time. Oh God, I wish you did a musical theatre with me. It would have been so much fun. Yeah, no, I'm very glad we didn't do musical theatre, because I don't think we'd have coped.
I think like my lack of coordination. I am medically lack of coordination. Like that's not even word. No. What's that wording? I am medically lack of coordination. What does that even mean? What am I saying? I want to know what I'm saying.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
I'm just practicing is what I'm trying to say. Like that's what I'm aiming for here. That's what I'm aiming to say. I'm just practicing. No, I'm medically coordinated. So like dance routines are not my friend. Like I am so poor.
Dani was in the same rehearsal when this happened one time. I thought I was like really uncoordinated, because it was like a pretty empty room, 2 chairs, script in the middle, in book form, not on like, it's like a tiny little script book. And I walked across the centre of the room to avoid the chairs and managed to trip over the script and tear it in 2 with my shoes. So I thought I was really uncoordinated. And then I took Danielle to a pole dance class.
Oh no.
And it was literally
the
basic moves. Like not even the basic moves, just like literally how to hold on to the pole and grip it. And it wasn't that Dani was uncoordinated. That was not an issue actually. It was the fear in her eyes and spinning so slowly. You weren't even spinning fast though.
It's scary.
And it's not like when you go to a pole dance class, like some places will encourage you to climb or whatever. The place I go to is very, very good, and it's big on health and safety and on what you can do. So you will never be pushed to do anything like climb really high. You'll literally be, the only things you're going to do is like be it sort of your own height, your own normal height, but with like 4 limbs wrapped around a pole. Yeah, that silence speaks for itself, Danielle. It's not, I mean, pole dancing is hard when you get like really get into it, but the very basics is basically like just sitting on a carousel horse.
I can't defend myself here. There's no defense. I'm just very unhealthy.
It's
very
not that you're not.
lack
You're
of
very
upper body
healthy.
strength.
These are all excuses. It was your genuine fear at the fact that you were like rotating slower than you would, I guess, if you were spinning on your own feet. That's the thing that made me laugh the most. Is because you look so green at the gills, like you genuinely looked like you're about to throw up, and yet, like, you were barely moving. And your feet could still touch the floor. It's not like you were even at a point where you couldn't have just put your foot on the floor. Flat on the floor, not even tiptoes. Flat.
The spinning made me feel really sick. I didn't enjoy it. It was just not a good time. And I'm like, oh no, Adele's bought me this lesson. I've got to kind of like, be grateful. But I'm thinking, I'm going to throw up. I'm not used to spinning. Okay?
To be fair, I kind of wish you had thrown up and that I never had a camera on you at the time. I mean, I would have hated to, I would have been the one left cleaning that up in the studio because I would never have left my instructor to do that. But it would have been hilarious to then put on the internet because of how slow you were spinning. Yeah.
Maybe I've got like some ear problems, but just spinning slightly really sends me sick. I'm like, oh God. Like I don't enjoy it. I get really car sick. Like I'm a very delicate creature.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of problems is what I'm trying to say.
She is such a delicate flower, bless her. But yeah, so that made me realise it's not lack of coordination with Dani, it's literally a motion thing.
Move me too quick and I'll throw up. We just turned a corner. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit upset.
I mean, don't be. Because you know what? You learned from that you'll never go pole dancing and you'll probably never try aerial hoop because that moves in all of the directions.
See, that just sounds like a bad time.
See, it's such a fun time because it's like a swing, but you've only got one like rope bit so you can just go anywhere you want. Anywhere.
I am like the kind of person who has never had like the need for speed, the need for danger. Like I am not an adventurous person. I am like comfort. You know what I got for Christmas? I forgot to tell you this. What I got for Christmas.
Yeah, what did
and
you
I
get?
was buzzing. I got a heated throw, an electric heated throw. And I was so happy. I have used that so many times. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've used that.
See,
It's so good.
I got a harmonica. And I cannot wait.
Sorry, coming in here throwing shade on my heated throw, Mrs. Harmonica.
Hey,
what?
no. I've been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift lately, and it's led me to reflect that
You're talking out your arse.
No, I'm not, actually. Have you listened to Folklore and Evermore?
No, I've got stuff to do.
Wow. Do not throw shade on Miss Taylor Ellison Swift because...
How do you know her middle name?
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, so I am proper like Taylor Swift stan. I always will be.
You were
Sorry.
simp for Taylor Swift.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
you're saying.
Oh, yeah. So listening to the last 2 albums has made me realise, actually, I used to absolutely desperately want to learn to play the harmonica. And that is my calling in life, and this is what I'm going to do with it.
That is my I'd get a better calling, like I really would.
No,
I don't think that's an amazing one.
I don't want a better calling. I want this calling. I'm going to play the harmonica. And the ultimate challenge will be eventually I'm going to learn how to play the harmonica and the recorder at the same time. So I'm going to have to get more flexible so I can use my toes.
What?
I know,
Wow,
right? It's going to be good.
That sounds like a fun weekend. Like what?
It does. And this is, again, my drama degree is going to help me with this because it's taught me how to breathe. And breathing is essential for playing the harmonica and playing the recorder.
See, it's all coming together.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
all coming
They're gonna
together.
make a movie about you one day. They're gonna be like, who's gonna play you for this incredible tale of human endurance? Like, I can't even begin.
You can't, can you? I mean, that's the thing. So at some point, when I'm like super, super famous for playing the harmonica alone, let alone with the recorder, you're going to eat your words about telling me to get a better calling. Because
I will. You know what? I'll be the first person to buy a ticket to your show.
I'm glad.
Even though I don't,
I'm going to
understand
charge
your life
extra.
choices,
I'm going to
I
charge
support
you
them.
extra for
Wait,
coming
what?
to my show.
I'm trying to support your dream here.
You did not support me in the beginning. You're the one who told me to get a better calling. Less than 5 minutes ago, you told me to get a better calling. You did not believe in my dream.
All right, I'll keep my views to myself.
Yeah.
I'll just smile and nod and go,
Mhm.
it's really good,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
You're doing
exactly.
really well.
It's gonna be like you're gonna be like a parent at a 5-year-old nativity play.
It's
aren't you?
really disapproving
Oh,
parent,
God.
but like
You're gonna be
had a
there.
bad childhood themselves, so just
Mhm.
kind of tries to keep it in because they don't want to be their mum, but they are.
Yeah.
So just like nodding and then just
Yeah.
like drinking slowly in the corner, just
Mhm.
having some shots. You're doing really well, bud. You're doing really well.
Well, thankfully, you've never had to put up with my violin. So.
You know the thing that I like about our friendship
Mhm.
is you sometimes just say things, and I've known you for what, nearly 4 or 5 years.
5 years.
5 years, and just stuff just comes out, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. So I bought myself an electric violin when I was like in my mid-20s. So I mean, I'm 38 now. So I've had it a long time. Never once picked it up to have a violin lesson.
Wow.
So as you can tell, the harmonica thing is probably going to go really, really well.
Yeah. You've got all the ideas, none of the commitment.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm probably going to get like really loud and annoying on it for a little while. Probably 10 o'clock at night, so my neighbours hate me.
That is the plan.
Yeah. Well, that's when I normally get like really inspired to pick up my recorder or my fife to play. And having not played in like probably 2 years, it's going to sound fucking horrific, let me tell you. It needs tuning and cleaning and all that, and I can't be arsed with that first, so I'm just going to fucking bang out some tunes on the recorder because it gives me joy. And then I'm going to whack up the harmonica and play that. And potentially as well, I've got a cat keyboard, which again, you did not know about.
I didn't. A
No.
cat's keyboard? Is this
I
a
do.
keyboard for cats or a keyboard with cats
No,
on?
it's a keyboard that makes cat sounds.
I love how that was not an option I picked, and yet it was the answer.
It is the answer, and I feel like if you could give me like about 5 minutes and potentially be willing to listen to some sounds of crashing, I could give you a sample of this.
I think we finish the episode, then I'll stick it in on the end of you
Okay, yeah, and
bashing out.
I will try and bash out a tune. I don't know if I can remember any, but I will bash out a tune
I love
on
how
my
it's
cat
like, yeah,
recorder.
I've got to remember like my keys and stuff. You know which cat I'm gonna use. Meow 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 meow. Like what?
Yeah. So, but it genuinely can play like it's like a it's not a full size keyboard, so it can play some basic tunes on there, like proper basic tunes, and you can choose to not have the cat sound. You can choose jazz piano,
Wow.
organ. It's very good.
Impressive.
Yeah, I felt so. There was that, and there was like a dog guitar, but the dog guitar didn't really float my boat because I've never played guitar.
I would like to be in charge of your finances. I feel like the money is getting spent in such bizarre manners. Like, what is going on?
I do have a plethora of bizarre instruments, so you were too young to remember, and I've forgotten what it's called now, but there used to be like a stylophone. That's what it's called, a stylophone. So in
I
the
think
80s,
it sounds familiar.
in the 80s, there was this little like electronic keyboard about probably about the size of the average adult hand, called a stylophone, and it made kind of a horrific noise. And then they rebooted it and I think relaunched it in like 2000 and something or other. And I actually somewhere have one of those that the battery's probably melted all acid over. So thankfully for most people, it doesn't work anymore. But yeah, so I do have a plethora of bizarre instruments, like a Romanian flute
Yeah.
that someone brought me back from Romania, that I managed to follow my friend around. I managed to bang out the Hovis music if anyone knows the old Hovis theme tune, we'll try and link it up or something. But I managed to figure that out while drunk, how to play that, and followed her around a taxi rank while she tried to get quotes on a taxi home. So, you know, I am that person that will annoyingly follow you around with a musical instruments. Just
You're
being
that guy.
generally disruptive, generally disruptive and disrespectful while playing something really out of tune. I have a great musical career ahead of me.
I mean, I'm excited for this one-woman band.
Yeah, well, I mean, just get me a drum kit now. That's all I need.
You can come join Darren in the studio. Because currently I'm sitting in my mum's boyfriend's studio. He's very kindly lent it to me. And he loves an instrument. He loves it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll chat about it all day. So I'm going to put you two together, and
Thanks.
it's just going to be amazing. When you're allowed in my house and you can come and sit in the studio.
Yeah. Well, the
It's gonna
difference
be-
is, though, Dazza can probably actually play his instruments.
You'd think, wouldn't you? You really would, but
Yeah.
it's not the case.
Oh, great. Oh, we are well suited. We are so... I will bring both my violins, because I don't just have one.
No, I
have two.
I'm joking. I'm
Oh.
joking.
Oh.
Well, he doesn't know how to read music.
Mm-hmm.
He feels it, man. He just goes and feels
Yeah,
it.
well, same here. I just feel it, and I go for
Some
it.
people just have it inbuilt, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I work on it as well. So
Mm.
I will bring both my violins, the cat keyboard. I've got like 6 recorders or something, and my harmonica. Maybe my stylophone if I can get it working, and we'll have like a full-on jazz night. We just sit
And
upstairs
what I'll
jamming.
do, you go in the loft in the studio, and I'll just put you two in there, put the ladders up, close it. And it's soundproof in here, so you can just crack on to your little heart's content.
We'll have a grand old
Knock
time.
on the hatch when you want to come out.
We will. We'll have a grand old time up there, and then you and your mum can sit downstairs and have peace and quiet for a little while.
Yeah. Let's put some curry on or something, have a cup of tea, it'd be lovely.
Yeah, me and Daz will be up there having the time of our lives, entertaining everyone. We'll stream it for
Entertain
everyone to
everyone.
watch.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're going to inflict the torture on other people. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
don't
you.
see why not. I think it would be fun. We can have like we can get a Zoom band together. You know, we can just have loads of people joining in with whatever instrument they can't play. That they also, I mean, they have to have it in the house, but whatever instrument they can't play. So if they've got like a piano they can't play in the living room, that's perfect. 'Cause none of us got a piano, just the cat keyboard.
Just the cat keyboard.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
It's sounding like a beautiful time. It really
It is. Yeah, we're going to have so much fun with it. We really are. And I think we should take inspiration from things in our general day-to-day life and theme it. Like, I would theme mine around probably like some of my work crush, who is the father of my previous work crush. Nicely. Yeah, so I would theme it around something like that, and we'd create
I don't
music.
even know how to respond. I don't
Hey.
know how to respond.
I know, right? It's a bizarre situation.
It
But yeah, so
is.
that's how we would go. That's where we would go with that. How you feeling, Dani? Are you feeling?
I'm feeling on edge.
Yeah.
Now you've brought that up. Fun times.
It is, right, isn't it? So yeah.
Speaking of crushes, though, you
Okay.
promised me a weird crush.
Oh my god. So I've been saving this one since probably, well, we went into lockdown in March, so this one would be April.
Yeah, because it's a lockdown crush,
It is a
isn't it?
lockdown crush, yeah. So have you watched any like proper normal TV rather than streaming services lately?
A bit, yeah. I've kept
So
up.
do you remember sort of right, like about the 5 or 6 week mark into lockdown, mid-April, ASDA came out with an advert which was meant to sort of appear as if it was filmed at home kind of thing. I will try and link you with this ASDA advert, but basically the guy from the ASDA advert, who is like meant to be the dad of the family, has become my absolute weird, really bizarre.
Send it me on my phone, though,
crush.
because I don't think I'll be able to open it on my laptop.
Yeah, I'm going to send it on your phone. But, I mean, you need to see this guy in action because it is... I don't even understand it. I really don't. And for anyone who's actually seen this, like, does anyone else out there think he's marginally attractive? Because for me, like, I don't understand it. I really don't. All I know is the minute that ASDA advert is on,
it real tickles the pickle.
Yeah, like, I perk right up. I don't understand it. I just don't. But yeah, so that's like, once you know who he is though, Dani, like, you will be like, what the hell? Because even I'm like, what the hell? And it's pretty much, I can't find the very first advert, but it's essentially, it's the first advert is the one. The rest of them I can take or leave, but the first.
I knew it was this man.
Yes!
I knew it was this man.
And yeah, right? So, like, I don't get Sonny, do they call him in the ad? It's not his real name. He's actually he's like a DJ for some northern radio
How
station.
do you know?
Because
How do you know this information? Why have you stalked the ASDA Dad? Like, what is wrong with you?
Because I needed to know, okay? I just needed to know who the heck this dude was, because I was like, this is like... They've tried to make it look as if it's like just a regular ass person doing an advert, and I'm like, no, this person's a professional. So I googled it for that reason. Thank you. So that's the only reason I know who he is. Yeah, but that is my really weird.
It was that man. So you said ASDA Dad, I'm thinking, am I thinking the right dude?
Oh god, yeah, it's like the ASDA Dad. Like, why do I have such a crush on him? Not even
what
like
is going on?
I don't understand it though, Dani. Like, I genuinely. I've had some bizarre crushes in my life, I will admit.
Yeah, you're telling me, hon.
You know, if we go back to my childhood, Bob Monkhouse, not the young Bob Monkhouse. The
Remember
old
you telling me that.
Bob Monkhouse. But, you know, that's a weird childhood thing, and, you know, I guess he looked kind of exotic or whatever. But this is like...
I don't know how okay that is to say. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I just
roll
I mean,
with
he
it.
was
Roll
he
with
was
it.
kind of Bob Monkhouse was orange, and you should generally, apart from Oompa Loompas, you did not see orange people. So that is exotic. I
think in nowadays, generally from Oompa Loompas, you don't see orange people.
We kind of do when they've had a bit of a bad self-tan session, but you know. But back then it wasn't as well known. Anyway, so, but as the Dad, it's when he talks, there is just something about that slight short tongue thing going on. I don't know what it is.
H Christ. I would ask you to elaborate, but I think I'd be traumatized. Like,
I mean, I'm slightly traumatized by this thing. And like I say, I can be doing something else, but as soon as that advert comes on, I just stop. And I have to watch it.
I need to watch this. Pause the television. Let me light some candles and think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and I mean, it's not. I know at the beginning of lockdown, I wasn't in a relationship. I was dating someone. I wasn't in a relationship, so it's not like I was starved of any kind of like attention or affection, or you know, I mean, the guy that I was dating at the time was quite a lot more. How can I put this? Conventionally attractive than the ASDA Dad. And yet, there was
just be with him and you just think, ASDA Dad.
Well, I wouldn't be with him because we were in lockdown. But, you know, like we'd be talking on the phone. I'd be like, you're not ASDA Dad.
Can you just, like, get a Christmas jumper and just go to ASDA for me? Just take a picture. Just take a picture for me. ASDA Dad, come on.
So I've sat on that one just for you. I've sat on that. ASDA Dad. What about you? You've got to have at least have one really weird, bizarre. Any particular, especially if they, you know, are like mine, where they're lockdown oriented.
See, and let me think. Like, the only person that's like springing to mind really is I think he's attractive in a weird way, because normally I fancy good-looking people. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think Richard Ayoade, like I think because he's so like
he is beautiful.
He's so like, I don't know how to describe it. Like he is himself. Like there's
yeah.
He's just a very kind of weird. I just kind of like vibe with it. I'm like, okay, I feel you, dog. I feel you.
Yeah, he's got that geeky, sexy thing going on, and I think he's always had it, but more so since like the COVID thing, and he did that advert for the space or whatever advert it was. Like
The advert, yeah, because they're really coming into the market at the minute. Space are getting all the advertising slots. Hi, this is Space.
No, you know what I mean. Like he did an advert where he like promotes like all the COVID safety measures, but I can't remember what brand it's for. But he's like starts off really unshaven. Oh, so sexy, so very sexy. But he has always been beautiful, even in like both in the IT crowd and in the Mighty Boosh.
See, in the IT crowd, I was always about the Irish dude. Always.
Oh, Chris O'Dowd? No.
Yeah.
No. Chris O'Dowd's character in that was a bit too arrogant, whereas like Richard Ayoade, hi, giving that.
Was it the
curly
nasal
hair.
voice that did it for you?
I think it. Do you know what he and the ASDA Dad have got in common? Curly hair.
Curly hair.
Curly hair does it for
Who'd have
me.
thunk it? You can get away with anything if you got curly
Oh
hair.
God, yeah, yes, you can. That's almost. I would say almost 100%. You can get away with stuff if you've got curly hair.
People just go, yeah. See, I've got very straight hair. Just can't get away with nothing. Can't do it. It's just unachievable.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, curly hair don't care, but also curly hair don't care. But yeah, like you've got straight hair. Everyone expects more from you. They expect more refinement and polishment. Polishment? That's not a word. It's not a
That's
word.
not even a word.
Yeah, it's not. But anyway, they expect you to be more polished and refined because you've got straight hair.
Curly hair's like wild.
Yeah, yeah, it's wild.
Like you go
it's
parties and
sexy.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't go parties. I
No.
don't go out my house, but
Well, none of us do this year. Unless you're like...
to be honest, if I hadn't watched the news, I wouldn't have known the difference. I'd have been like, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you see it at work a little bit, so you would have known something. But basically, yeah, exactly. Aside from, like, actually meeting with you to go and have, like, coffees, I barely left the house last year. So, yeah, really not much difference at all for me.
No.
The only thing I'm really missing is, like, going to Pole and... like actually going and meeting you for coffee in person.
Yeah,
Sniff.
I've missed that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think we've been going now for 50 minutes.
Oh,
so
have we?
Yeah, we have.
Oh my
I hope-
God. We've probably like bored everyone else to tears, but
Yeah,
entertained
we've had a
ourselves
good time,
with-
though.
We've had a really good time.
So right, that was it then. We're done.
Oh my God.
First episode done.
No.
It's actually happened. Wow.
Well, you say it's actually happened. We've got to edit it all. You have to edit it.
Oh, I was going to say we. Have
I
we
am
got to
with
edit it all?
I am with you in spirit through the editing process, just because I'm going to forget about it actually and not really be with you in spirit. But you know what? It's good. It's good. Good
Okay.
times. Okay.
Well,
right.
thank you everyone for listening. If
Thank
you
you
did.
if you did listen. Yeah, if you managed to
You
make
did.
it past the first minute,
Well
done.
done.
Yeah,
Look
well
at
done.
You. You've achieved. You've been doing real well.
Yeah, so that was us, and we
Go have
do
a cookie or
apologise for
something.
what you've had to put up with.
Yeah, we apologise. Like, it
yeah.
really works, the title. You've figured it out now, why we call it that.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Thank
Okay,
you and
right.
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, Editing Dani here. If anybody's interested, this is what Adele's cat keyboard sounds like.
Did you pick any of that up? Isn't it horrific?